Hey, hi, and hello. I'm Angry Gorilla, and welcome to the PokeMMO server. This is 100 Lures, a series in which I show where to find lure-exclusive Pokemon and how many we can get with 100 lures. For those that aren't aware or new to the game, lures are an item that were introduced in 2022. Lures come in two different types: standard, which can be bought at Pokemarts across all regions; premium, which can be bought from the gift store for RP. Basically, they act as the opposite of repels, in which they increase encounter rates 10% for standard and 25% for premium. Foes are slightly stronger than normal Pokemon in the area. Encounter more foes at the same time, so we can have double battles and triple battles. Lure exclusive Pokemon are 5% for a standard and 10% for a premium. As well as some extra features for the premium lures are small hordes of 3 may increase in size, and if you encounter a shiny Pokemon, the secret shiny rate for that Pokemon is increased by 25%. They also range in strength. Basic lures are 100 steps for a standard, but 200 steps for a premium basic lure. Super are 200 steps for a standard or 300 steps for a premium super lure. Expert is 250 steps for a standard or 400 steps for a premium expert lure. As for the costs, basic are 600 for standard, and then you're looking at 100 RP for the premium. Super are 1200 for standard and 150 RP for the premium. And expert are 1500 for standard and 200 RP for the premium version. So pretty much you can find wherever you can get a repel. The strength of repel is what type you'll find lure. As for the premium, like I said, you go to the gift store and you go to the miscellaneous, and there we are. We got the premium lures here with all the details that I just mentioned previously. So with that being said, let's move on. Like I said, I'm going to show how and where to get lure exclusive Pokemon and show you the results of how many are achievable using 100 lures. I'll be using 100 standard basic lures, so it's even for everyone to use. So let's see how we go. Okay, so today for 100 lures, it's a bit of a not so normal episode today. So we're going to look into Shelgon. Okay, so Shelgon is a Pokemon that you can find in the Hoenn region. So if we get up Shelgon here, we can see that it's a 100% lure exclusive Pokemon here in Meteor Falls. The reason why we want to look into it is because we had a comment that wanted us to look into Bagon as well. That comment is on the screen right now. And Bagon also is a rare encounter in Meteor Falls, but it's also a lure exclusive a lure encounter in Meteor Falls. Okay, so both these Pokemon are found in the same spot, just different parts of the same location. Okay, so the reason why people love going after Bagon or Shelgon is for Salamence. So Salamence you can find in the OU category. So if I get up OU now and I look up Salamence, we can see that it is a 3.5% usage rate for 41% win rate. Pretty even between Moxie and Intimidate. Choice specs, Life Orb, Leftovers, Choice Scarf and Rocky Helmet, and pretty balanced natures. You can't go wrong with any of these natures depending on what sort of Salamence you want. In terms of prices, if we get up Shelgon, we can see they sell for about 1500 is the lowest, and they can be roughly around the 2k, even as there's been 19 hours ago a minute. We've had pretty well, you can sit at 2k. If we go to Bagon now, it holds at about 2k, and then if we go look at female Bagons, they go about 3k. But the added bonus as well in Meteor Falls is you have a rare chance at finding Beldum, which we got to take away the gender for that because it's a genderless Pokemon, and we can see that each Beldum sells for about 8k each. as upwards of, I think it was 9k as well. So, so you can find Beldum as well. So if I go down about here, we can see that Beldum is a very rare chance at Meteor Falls. Okay, so you can either get, we're going for Shelgon, we're going to catch every single Bagon, and I'm going to catch every single Beldum. And we're going to see how we can go with 100 lures in seeing how many Shelgon we come across, how many Bagon we get, and how many Beldum we get. So in order to get your very own of each, what you need is to get yourself to Falabor Town. You will need the HM waterfall. So it pays to have a Pokemon with that in your party. Now you want to make yourself go west of Falabor and then south across this bridge here. I'm going to just use Max Repel here. You want to make yourself go through this grass patch along the walkway or the cliffs here. You can always slow down the video and it'll showcase. You can follow along to where I'm going. You'll head into the cave and here you are in Meteor Falls. So if you use a lure now, you can come across Bagon for a 5% chance, or a 5% encounter rate chance they say. Or if you want to, you can use Surf, which you also need that HM. You can then waterfall up this waterfall, head into this cave. You now want to head down this ladder, across, west, up this ladder, and then this is where it gets pretty tricky to some. So you want to head north, you want to jump down these slopes but not past the last one, and you want to head into that ladder there. You want to head south into this water. You want to surf along and you want to be in this little area here. So you can run across back and forth in this little spot. I'll just pop another Max Repel. You can also surf across. You should get TM Dragon Claw there if you haven't grabbed it already. But you can also run across in this area and you can grab Shelgon once you use lures, or you have a very rare chance of getting Beldum, or I believe it was a rare chance in getting Bagon. Yes. So I'm going to use 100 lures. I'm going to see how many Shelgon we get. I'm going to catch every single Bagon and every single Beldum. It is good to note that with Shelgon and Bagon, that they do hold, obviously, or not obviously, but they do hold items. So we can get Dragon Scales and Dragon Fangs off Shelgon. Same deal with the Bagon, we can get Dragon Scales and Dragon Fangs. And with Beldum, we can also get metal coats. So it'd be good to see how many of those items we get. Okay, so I've had that many encounters that I thought I'd split it up across several different footages. So in the top left, we have a Bagon single encounter, same as the bottom right. Bottom left, we have a Beldum single encounter. And then in the top right, we have a double battle, which showcases a Shelgon, which we wanted with a lure, as well as another Bagon. So we were getting so many encounters for what we wanted. We didn't get that many encounters all up. I'll go through that when I go up to the results. But it was a pretty standard procedure. Beldum were a kind of a hard capture. It also didn't help that the only balls that I had were Pokeballs. So yeah, as you can see, we caught the Bagon on the top left. We'll then also go into another encounter which showcases a double battle with just Bagons. So I had a few of those as well. So like I'm going to say, this is a perfect spot, and I'm sure I'm going to say it several times in this video. This is a perfect spot if you do want to shiny hunt for Bagon. We were getting that many encounters, but it was a pretty standard procedure in terms of using false swipe and spore in order to get the Pokemon down low. Things to note is that Shelgon does have protect, so that can slow you up. Other things that are you should be mindful of are Beldum does have smackdown or takedown, which has recoil damage, so it is important to not take Beldum down to 1 HP, because if it hits takedown, it will faint due to recoil. So yeah, it definitely pays to have something better. Don't be like me, have something better than Pokeballs. Although it doesn't cost that much, it's only 200 Poke-Yen per Pokeball, but it did make capturing the Shelgons, Bagons and Beldums quite difficult. So as you can see, we caught a couple more. We've got now another single encounter Beldum in the bottom right, and we have a double encounter in the top left with Bagon and Golbat. So it's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory in terms of if you do come across a double battle with a Golbat or a Zubat that we're finding, just take them out first and then focus on the Pokemon that you want. But pretty much using false swipe and spore, and potentially even a Dusk Ball, or if the Beldum battles are going on too long, just a Timer Ball. That also did help a fair bit. As you saw in the top right there, we just used a Timer Ball because the battle was taking way too long. So, and then that takes us into a single encounter for Shelgon, which this is a much easier catch. Just a matter of false swiping a couple of times. We can see another single encounter on the top left there with Bagon. But once you false swipe a couple of times, use spore, there isn't really much else you can do once you get it down to that point. If I use something other than, there you can see Shelgon using protect to stop us from making it fall asleep. Luckily protect can't work twice in a row, so then once we use spore, we can then make Shelgon fall asleep to then use a Pokeball or an Ultra Ball, preferably an Ultra Ball. They were definitely what made it a bit harder, but that's all the captures that we got on camera. Okay, so here are the results after using 100 lures. I do have the 4 screens up for the Pokemon that we were intending to catch with the lures. So we have Shelgon up here. This is its Pokedex entry, its current pricing at the time of recording in the GTL, the potential reason on why you might want to catch it for PvP reasons, as well as our trusty PC that shows all our catches. So when it came to Shelgon, after using 100 lures, we got 26 Shelgon all up, okay? We only had 672 encounters all up for the 100 lures. So I'm not too sure why it was so low there in terms of total encounters. But then again, at the same time, the only Pokemon that you come across is Shelgon, Beldum, Bagon, and Zubat and Golbat. So not a big selection. So that's probably why we got so many Pokemon we caught, which you'll see in a second. So we got 26 all up. Overall, really good. We got a couple of 31s. I think we only got the 131. But a lot of different sort of EVs. We got a lot of females, which is great because as we can see, if we go to female gender, the price starts to go up a bit, as well as even if we had a 1 times 31, like we do, we can see it goes to 3k. That's a 31 speed, so if we get that up, 6k straight off the bat just for that one. Okay, so that's good. The second reason, or the second Pokemon that we got, we do have Beldum down here. So all up, we got 16 Beldum. So it was actually less than the lure Pokemon. We got 16 all up. So if I get Beldum up now, so this is the Pokedex entry. If we look up Beldum, we close that. Like I said, the going price is around 8k for Beldum. The reason why you might want to potentially have it in PvP is for Metagross. It's a third evolution after it gets to level 45. It's 10% usage, so it's more than Salamence. Only has the one ability. People are using Rocky Helmet or Leftovers or Assault Gear, Sugar Berry or Choice Scarf. People want Impish Nature or Adamant predominantly on their Metagross, so you've got that. We did get a couple of decent Beldum, so we got a 31 special attack there, a 31 special attack, so we got a lot of decent Beldum here, but ultimately just a good little haul for just a single very rare encounter in Meteor Falls. And then lastly, so we want to go back to Bagon. Let's get Bagon up here on the GTL. We want to then go back, scroll down to, I think it's the 30% that it's used. There's Salamence. Okay, so once again, Salamence is the reason why you might want to catch your very own Bagon. And then this is where it was ridiculous. So I got 115 Bagon in using 100 lures. So that's a 17%. I had a 17% encounter chance with Bagon. So I'm gonna have to sort through all these, especially since they go for 2k each. Yeah, so Beldum, I had a 2% encounter rate, and then with Shelgon, I had a 4% encounter rate. So I was using roughly 4 lures per Shelgon. So there's that. All that is great. The Bagon were ridiculous. I got a couple of decent 31s, especially in the natures that we want as well. Yeah, it was just ridiculous how many Bagon we got, and it'd be a perfect spot if you want to go shiny hunt for Bagon. That spot with lures is 100% recommended. And then lastly, it comes down to how many items we got. So we got 2 Dragon Fangs, 1 Metal Coat. That's a 3rd Dragon Fang. 4, 5. We got 6 Dragon Fangs, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Dragon Scales. So if we get those now up on the GTL, so if we go sort by price, and then we go Dragon Scale, they go for about 1700 each. So there's a nice little haul there. And then if we get the Dragon Fang up, they go for about 1600 each. So a very decent haul there. If we get a Metal Coat up as well, just to price check that one, we get that for 3 grand. So very decent. I'm gonna have a good time price checking all this and selling everything off on the GTL. So we had a very good haul with these 3 Pokemon. So that is 100 lures done for today. As you saw, we got plenty of Pokemon in today's episode. I know it was a bit longer, but it was a very detailed and multiple Pokemon that you can gather. Hopefully it was straightforward, so you can get your own Shelgon. You can also get plenty of Bagon. This is a great spot if you are trying to shiny hunt for Bagon, as well as trying to get your own Beldum as well. With that being said, be sure to comment your thoughts down below, or even hit me up on which Pokemon you'd like to see featured next on 100 Lures like today's episode was. Also, to keep up with everything that has been done, there's a playlist in the description which showcases every single 100 Laws episode so far. If you also want to keep up with other PokeMMO content, be sure to subscribe, because it also keeps you up to date with everything that goes on with the channel. I do like to post other videos other than the 100 Laws in terms of guides and routes in order to make money, or even just trainer tips. So I do like to try and post the 100 Laws episode every Wednesday, so if you're subscribed you'll see that on your feeds. So like the video, and that's it for now. So look after yourself, keep cool, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.